So, hello to all of you. Today we have a video concerning autophagy and fasting. How the body manages all this. So we'll talk about all of that today, but before that, our retreat of dry fasting in Spain near France is in 1 month. The retreat is full. A few spots remain for the summer retreats and for Montenegro. Spots are available, no worries, as we are in a beachfront hotel. The hotel is fine, but in other locations, spots are limited, so we have a fixed number of rooms defined. So for those who are interested, don't hesitate to look into dry fasting, check out my books, and look a little bit at the videos and testimonials from people who have attended our retreats. Currently, we have a retreat system that is extremely well developed, where indeed we receive excellent feedback and achieve very good results. We are utilizing a therapeutic fast, a therapeutic dry fast, among the advanced ones you can find by searching, like in Russia or Germany, etc. You won't find this in dry fasting, and so we have launched the entire approach, psycho-emotional component that is integrated into the retreats, meaning we currently have a unique retreat system that you cannot find elsewhere, featuring combinations of various methods we employ, including coaching, and certainly a whole know-how that has been put in place by people who have practical experience. I am not managing this alone, and of course, concerning pure dry fasting and refeeding, here I contributed my unique style. So we advanced the dry fasting method that has been known since the 1970s, 70 in Russia. We have made it, we updated it, we evolved things, which means that now we have something that is very, very advanced by the time of refeeding and preparation. Well, all of that has been corrected regarding aspects that were not functioning, which I identified, and now we have retreats that are beginning to become interesting on the level physiological and physical levels, but also the emotional level. There you go. So that concludes this brief moment. So we will now proceed to discuss a little bit about the fast, about dry fasting and autophagy. There you go. So we always say that one must load up on micronutrients in order to supply, to provide nutritional elements to the body, to the cell, to its very essence, and so on. But what if the reality wasn't the reverse? Precisely to bring about coherence and bring about reorganization, wouldn't the truth actually be to take precisely breaks and let the body do its own cleaning? Today, well, we have people who will service their cars. We take into account, well, every 30,000 kilometers, every 20,000 kilometers we service it, paying much attention to the car. To our apartment, maybe we clean regularly, but what about us? What about us? Are we doing the cleaning and maintenance of ourselves? I often see people coming to my office for a consultation who tell me about pathologies, tell me about things, and when I ask them the question, but in your life, what have you done preventively to maintain yourself? Well, no, I don't know the answer, which is often no. Well, people have abused food, they haven't slept, they haven't exercised, they haven't done this, they haven't done that. And then, well, we are surprised that after a while, boom, a health problem appears, because there was never maintenance. The key to health is prevention. This is what our ancestors emphasized. Forward, it is the first medicine. It is that of maintaining one's physical and psychic body, because the two go together. If you only focus on the physical body, you have completed 50% of the path. But if you don't manage your emotions or stress, how can you function? It's impossible. Both must be addressed together. The physical body and the emotional body are aspects that must be treated with equal importance. So, a major issue today is that psychology is not taught in school. It is not explained. We have not received training. Therefore, we must become interested in it. How will I manage a stressful situation? How much importance will I assign to it or not? How will I process bad news? Will I tend to ruminate on it? That is the case, etc. The psychological aspect in fasting is crucial because during dry fasting, a vast amount of material will surface during your retreat for your treatment. And then the idea is to go and gather this information, to see how I feel in that phase, and then to be able to let it emerge, let it come out in a gentle, calm way, without wanting to have an overly interventionist action. There you go. So that is all our work. It is the core of our work, to be able to, well, welcome what comes, accept what arrives, not repress it, and then take responsibility for everything that happens to us. And when we take responsibility for a health problem, to say, there you go, I am responsible, now I will take action. It's not, I am not a victim, as a doctor might say, there you are, you fell ill, tough luck, we will prescribe medication for life to manage symptoms. Dry fasting will do all this reorganization work of cleaning, and at the same time, well, you will be taking care of yourself or your person, of your psyche, to understand, to try to raise awareness of what is happening to you. And when you have understood what is happening, what the mechanisms at play are, the beliefs that you have, which might be wrong from your childhood, they stuffed your head, that you must not do this, that you must not do that life is this way and not that way. So the concept is to deprogram and then declare, now I am moving forward, I desire new experiences in my life, and I begin by giving a big clean sweep to a precise situation, forgiving things I have lived through. The past is the past. We can get beyond it. And then move forward and say, now I will achieve my project. I have no more worries. I know where I want to go and nothing is going to stop me. So when we have this mindset, well, they can announce a lot of bad things to us, bad news. It won't have taken hold of us, in fact. So the idea is to deprogram from the past, and I know that precisely an ideal springboard where these things come to the surface and naturally the physical and mental detoxification goes hand in hand, goes together. So a young person in a cult should always be accompanied by work on the self. That's what we do in our retreats, where we bring people to free themselves from their past, from their history. Or not, it is entirely free. All the workshops we propose are free. People are free to attend. Then you have workshops such as the release of the cuirasses. It's a very gentle workshop where you will contact fascia with tennis balls and things like that and cushions. You will do very gentle movements that will release. It's called the release of the cuirasses. So we have this workshop planned for every day. So we have yoga as well, certainly, which will work. And then we have the other group workshops, but also the things that are done in coaching one-on-one. We are currently the sole fasting center offering individualized coaching during dry fasting sessions. So you have Marie-Christine, that is her function. She is a life coaching specialist, and well, she will precisely go and identify a little bit your programs, your stories, your wounds, and then individually, it happens individually, everything is free. She will come and speak with you, and then point perhaps to a slightly complicated situation, etc. And then afterwards, you have all the work of the fast that is also done in the group. You can deposit all of that, talk about your worries, your problems, and all that. The group is there precisely to support all of that, so or not, so everything is free. We impose nothing. People come or choose not to come. There is all of that. A group cohesion that forms, that is certain so. So where do I stand? So no food, no counting stimulation. So the idea is simply to let it proceed differently to allow the body to function. So for thousands of years, this fasting method has been known. So Hippocrates stated precisely that when someone is ill, the best course of action is sometimes not to eat, to rest. Paracelsus, it was the force that heals man being him. Those were his phrases. Gandhi perceived fasting as a potent means of internal transformation. So that was, Gandhi underwent many fasting periods. It was a practice. Paracelsus also, it was the saying about the fast, the best method for self-purification. So these phrases are empirical phrases that have been conveyed. So we must always look at what the ancients did. So today, when you cease eating, what occurs? There is no panic, so there is always an adaptation phase. So the body adapts. So we have a first phase. So it is the glycogen that is used up after 24 hours. So we utilize our glucose reserves stored in the liver and the muscles. That's where there is the glucose. So it's a transition phase. So, and then once these reserves are exhausted, then we move into a metabolic switch, which we also call the metabolic shift. So we have an external energy source that diminishes and then we activate. So, and endogenous nutrition with fats that will be oxidized in the mitochondria. So that becomes a fuel, a main energy fuel during your fast, whether it's a water fast or a dry fast. I remind you that these are the only two types of fast that exist on the planet. Juice fasts are not fasting, it's something else. It's what we call diets. So we transition from a mode dependent on the exterior to an autonomous mode, internal regulation of our own resources and our own internal reserves. Internal. This phenomenon is called autophagy, Nobel Prize in Medicine in 2016. So the principle of autophagy is a regulation. It's a self-cleaning, powerful, studied so mainly in 2016 under this Nobel Prize. So cells begin to eliminate damaged proteins, to recycle useless components. We optimize its elimination and cleaning functions, misfolded proteins, etc. I talked about all this in other videos. It's an internal maintenance. If we take the example of a city, normally a city consumes, whether it's electricity, it accumulates things, and then in a period of restriction, the city will clean itself, will recycle itself. It will become more efficient, more effective. So in the physical benefits of autophagy, these are what we call adaptation mechanisms, survival. Well, in a physical plan, we have several metabolic levels that will improve. So better insulin sensitivity when you fast. Autophagy will create that. More efficient use of fat. You have more stable energy than during the day, even dry fasting, even with the fatigue from it. You still maintain an intriguing source of fuel that is generated while you are in a state of dry fasting. You are never flat. Then it depends on your actions. We set up smart systems during the dry fast to keep and give energy back to the body. Indeed, euthyrosis will reduce inflammation, improve, therefore decrease the inflammatory terrain. You have inflammation that is too high. The fast will lower all that. It will also improve the cell quality. It will eliminate dysfunctional cells. It will improve general cellular function. The moment you recycle, you remove what is in excess. Well, you will do recycling, cleaning. You have a reset of the immune system. The immune system becomes more efficient, better stress adaptation, better regulation of some immune responses. Energy-wise, you have less fatigue. When you finish a course, you really feel that cleansing. You feel it in your body. You are lighter. You sleep much less. You have less tiredness. Thus, you have completed this eutherosis, which results in internal rejuvenation, improving your blood vessels and circulation. All these physiological markers show improvement once a fasting regimen is concluded, provided that the refeeding is done correctly. So dry fasting is the most advanced type. It is the one that pushes the body the most to its limits, but also the one that achieves the best regeneration, the best recovery. The more you stress an organism, the more adaptive the response behind it is to the stress you apply. So if you have a good rest after a dry fast, afterwards you do something that repairs very well, that will go very fast. Give energy back to the body, you have a recovery afterwards that is very fast. Therefore, within the context of dry fasting, there is a significant mental connection that becomes actively involved. It is therefore not solely a physical change, but also a transformation of the mind. Dry fasting alters your self-perception and imparts a great deal of resilience, a discipline that you can put in place naturally without forcing yourself. When you experience hunger and your body adapts, you develop a sort of control, stability, mastery, mental clarity. We really have these ketone bodies secreted in the brain, which are extremely beneficial, which make us feel good. It's a shot of hormones of well-being, and you cannot be depressed during a dry fast. It is truly an antidepressant beyond compare, beyond measure. We had people who came with antidepressants. They completely got rid of their medication. They no longer need it because they found such intensity, such an inner vibration, such inner strength, that all that it was no longer useful to consume anything to stabilize themselves. You have a pride. That's what's interesting. It's when you finish a program like that. You have this joy, this well-being that is residing within you. Nobody can remove it. It is an internal joy that instills a program of wellness, of pride. You have done something, you have succeeded in a trial, and then afterwards, wow, you can bring new things into your life, something new, new ideas, a new job, change your life, sweep things clean, do something else, etc. It gives you drive, desire. That's something that is difficult to explain. You have to go through the I don't know what to understand that you have been through the washing machine, and then that, okay, now you have to move on to something else. You want to do something else. You will focus on what is fundamental. The I don't know what returns you to basic elements, to your core self, stripping away the superfluous. It refocuses and recenters you. That is the I don't know what. It's a tool for personal evolution too. We are certainly very good physically for calming pain, inflammation, pathologies, etc. But it goes far beyond all that. It represents a potent method for transforming your psyche and achieving inner realignment and mental clarity. After all of that, your mind races less quickly. You become calmer and more serene. You are less anxious about minor issues that might arise in your life. You worry less. There are fewer. And you are a little galvanized, and then it's not small external things that are going to bother you. That's it. You are much calmer facing the elements, external influences, when you come out of an I don't know what fast. And then afterwards, the challenge is to sustain, to keep this achievement, to tell yourself, okay, now I go for it. I want to go in this direction. And then I fear nothing. I am on an unlimited path of all possibilities. And that's a bit what happened to me. There you go. I fear very few people. I fear no one. There are still minor issues, naturally, like everyone else, but I handle them telling myself, we are moving forward. We remain positive and it functions effectively. There you have it. So the I don't know what leads to a certain inner resilience and inner strength. And we become capable of functioning without external sustenance, meaning we learn to cultivate our abilities for self-sufficiency. We develop our self-reliance skills. There you go. We avoid all external dependencies when we are in this process of the I don't know what. There you go. Thus, the body's self-cleansing process, the mind's self-cleansing process, everything occurring within your cells, it reflects in your mind too. Therefore, that state of not knowing brings about this internal connection. You stop eating food and water too. We have less distraction. We are less in flight. We are more truly in the self-awareness, truly sensing our physical body, sensing our inner world. A connection is established, which results in us subsequently developing intuition. We know where to go. We sense things far better than if we are contaminated and overloaded with never-ending food, with sugar, with processed food, in which case we absolutely do not have clear thoughts whatsoever. So during periods of famine, of dieting, during the year I also recommend the short unknown. Every week, if you can do something short, it is very, very, very good. There you go. The body knows how to adapt. The body knows how to clean itself. The body knows how to regulate itself. The unknown allows for homeostasis, but we simply must give it a break, allow it to rest. And then the mind also knows how to stabilize. It knows how to become stronger. But we must specifically give it a period to reorganize. It is in the void that we get the answers. It is not when you are overstimulated with everything we have now, so that you will have creativity, find ideas, be efficient, etc. It is in the periods when you have nothing that everything is decided, in fact. That is where you get the breakthroughs. That is where you make the decisions. That is where you say, yes, that is it. There you go. It is in nothingness that all possibilities open up to you. If your mind is burdened with countless pieces of information, it becomes challenging for you to discover solutions to your internal issues. Therefore, there you go. So that was everything for today. There you go. So the body knows how to manage. It just needs a pause. And then I'll see you soon for another video. Bye bye.